So I have this friend who is a big Ninja Turtles fan. He read the comics, he's playing with the toys, watch all the TV shows, all that fun stuff. So I saw Mutant Mayhem, right? And I was like, hey, go watch Mutant Mayhem, dude. It's pretty damn good. Go check it out. And he checked it out, and then I saw him and I was like, hey man, what'd you think? Pretty good, all right? Pretty good. And he said, you know what? Pretty whack. Actually, he was like, yeah, you know, I don't really like how they messed up Master Splinter's origin. What the heck is up with that? He's this master. He's this master of his art, and now he's just some schmo watching TV, eating Cheetos, picking his toes. What the hell's going on with that? I was like, whoa, what? So it kind of got me thinking about comic accuracy and adaptations that take things, and if it's kind of better to move away from the comic adaptations, and if it is better to stick to the original comic adaptation or to, you know, move on, change things slightly, or change things drastically. I understand both point of views. I understand someone who is a big fan of the source of media and they want to see what they love adapted to live action or animation or something like that, something outside of the original media. And oftentimes when you do change the comic accuracy, it can mess things up, it can get a little messy, but sometimes they do that to change and reflect the story and characters involved with that one. I think a good example is Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man PS4. I think that's a really good example. I just did a whole video essay on him on my other channel, just saying if you want to check it out. This version of Otto Octavius is very different from the comic origin and motive that we get. But the important thing also is that Spider-Man in this game is very different from all the other Spider-Man we've had. And when you've made a Spider-Man game, a Ninja Turtles movie, a Batman movie, something like that, something where we've seen these characters in different versions over and over and over again, you have to find new character arcs and ways to expand those characters that is interesting, that warrants these new adaptations, these new variations. And when you change these stories to work with the main characters, oftentimes you have to change the villain or other characters to parallel and reflect that character. So that's why I say sometimes it's a small price to pay if it means you're going to get a higher quality, a more original, more creative product for other characters or the story as a whole. And also, like I said, while the original one might be better, sometimes changing things can help that character, can help the lore or the world or whatever you're trying to change or adapt from the comics. I think a great example of this is Mr. Freeze from Batman. For those who don't know, the version of the Mr. Freeze origin that we all pretty much know, you know, his wife's frozen, he's trying to unthaw her, that whole thing, that's not the original comic origin of Mr. Freeze. That's something that they just made for Batman the Animated Series. The motive was so good in that it has become the go-to motive for every version of Dr. Freeze, even adding it into the comic. So that's now a popular motive and origin for a lot of the comic Freezes. So I think it all depends on the character, on the story, and the adaptation, how many times they've done this story before. If you're just adapting something like a Green Lantern thing, you can keep a lot of that comic accuracy lore the same, and I think that you should, because, you know, we only have like one Green Lantern movie, and no one really remembers it, nor do they want to remember it. Everyone's trying to forget that movie. I'm trying to do that. I think in a situation like that, there is good reason to lean on that comic accuracy a lot more because there's a lot of good stuff there. By all means, I think you can change things and tweak things if it's going to help the story, if it's going to make it more modern, if it's some like old-timey, out-of-date motive or something like that, some backstory. But for Spider-Man, Batman, the Ninja Turtles, all of these characters we've seen a dozen times. Me personally, I have no issue with making these changes, but if you're a diehard fan and you want things to stay the same, like my Ninja Turtles friend, that's up to you, man. You like what you like. Let me know what you think. Is it better to stick to the original source material, or is it cool? Are you down with changing things up, switching things up, whether that be small or pretty damn drastic? Thanks for watching. New video every day. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs. Consider subscribing. I appreciate you. Thank you. See you later. Bye. Friend, if you're watching, this is why I have a YouTube channel, so I can say my points and I'm right and you're wrong.